Good morning, good morning. I'm Devin Albertson here on my Facebook Live show. I'll put it on YouTube later. Sorry if my voice is a little raspy, my throat hurts a little bit this morning. But we're going to get to what I think the top 5 and bottom 5 teams in the NFL are and the top 5 games of this week here in a minute. I'll look back to last week here real quick, though. I went 3-2 against the spread, 3-2 straight up. I had KC -3 over Oakland. Oakland won by a point, so I missed that game. I had Minnesota -5.5 over Baltimore. They won by 8, so that was all good. I had the Rams -3.5 over Arizona. They won 33-0, so I was really good on that one. I had Atlanta +3.5 over New England. New England won by 16, so that was bad. Then last night I had Philly -5 over Washington, and they won 34-24. So 3-2 week, better than the week before. We're at 2-3, so I'm improving in that category. We're picking the 5 best games instead of the 5 games the easiest pick against the spread. Man, my throat hurts. But we'll get started real quick with the top 5 teams in the NFL. I got the Eagles at number 1, still 6-1. They're 3-0 in division, with their only losses at Kansas City. Carson Wentz looks really, really good this year. And I know Peters went down last night, but it's one of the best combo of offense and defensive line in the NFL. Trying to the Eagles have my top spot. Number 2 is still the Chiefs. They've been a really tough schedule to date, beating the Patriots, Eagles, Redskins, and Texans. With the Patriots and Texans wins being on the road. They also had a win at LA Chargers. The 2 losses are combined 7 points to the Steelers at home, then at Oakland 4 days later on Thursday Night Football by 1. So the Chiefs are fine. 5-2 through that schedule is really difficult, and so give them credit for that. Alex Smith's still a legit MVP candidate thus far. He's been playing extremely well. Kareem Hunt still playing extremely well too at running back. The defense needs to be fixed. I'll get to it more later, but Gaines is awful, and Sutton just needs to adjust the scheme. They need to win on Monday Night Football versus Denver, or else they're going to drop really far in these rankings. It's 3 straight losses. They're going to drop possibly out of the top 5 with that. So I moved down to 2 this week. Probably should have moved a little farther down, but giving Andy Reid and company credit for being able to fix things, and with their tough schedule so far, I thought 5-2 through that schedule is mighty impressive. So we'll see what happens there. The Vikings 5-2. I think they're ranked 8th in the ESPN poll, but I have 3rd in mine. I think they're favorites win the NFC North. Rodgers out. Defense is for real. Strong running game. That formula is going to win a lot of games in the NFL. So I like what the Vikings are doing right now. I just think they're a really solid team so far this season. As I'm looking to see who they've actually played this year. They beat the Saints week 1. They lost to Pittsburgh in week 2, but it was Case Keenum's first start. So I'm not going to hold that against Minnesota as much because you have your backup as his first start. Didn't know he was starting until the day before, so that wasn't good. They won against the Buccaneers, lost to the Lions by 7. They beat the Bears, Packers, and Ravens the past 3 weeks. They're a really solid team right now, 3rd best team in the NFL in my opinion. Up next, they have the Browns at Washington versus the Rams and at Detroit. So they have their work cut out for them next few weeks. So we'll see how they handle all of that. Then I got the New England Patriots. I still don't quite believe in the Patriots. I know that ESPN has them as number 1 in their poll. Their 2 losses are at home, the Chiefs and the Panthers. Their wins are at New Orleans versus Houston, at Tampa, at New York, and versus the Falcons. The win was at the New York Jets. They versus the Falcons on Saturday Night Football. I don't know about you, but I wasn't impressed with the Patriots in that win over Atlanta. I just didn't think they were. It was all of them. I think it was more Atlanta not being able to produce on offense, just because the Patriots defense still isn't very good. So I'm not sure what Atlanta was doing there. So we'll see what happens going forward. New England, they're still going to be a title contender because of Belichick and Brady. So they'll always be in the top 4 team right now. At number 5, Pittsburgh Steelers have been in my top 5 for most of the year, but they've looked a lot better over the past 2 weeks. Went over to KC and Cincinnati. This team can beat anyone in the NFL on any given day, but they can also lose to anybody on any given day just as easily. Team plays with too many highs and lows, in my opinion, still. They're 5-2. They got at Detroit this week. I'll talk about that game in a bit, but they're right now number 5. As I've said earlier, there's a lot of parity in the league right now. I think I saw somebody, besides the Eagles, every division is within 2 games from last place. I think the Giants and Cleveland and San Francisco are like 3 teams that are out of contention, but everybody else is really within 2 games of the division. So it's just way too much parity right now to distinguish top 5 from the rest of the league. So you have the Rams are up there, the Seahawks, the Saints, the Redskins, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Raiders, the Texans. They're all in this mix for top teams in the league because they can beat anybody, but also they can lose to anybody. It's like there's so much parity in the league right now. It's which team shows up, which team executes better on Sunday. So don't overreact to a team here. Me putting a team at 5, the Steelers, is not saying they're bad. If anybody thinks that, you're an absolute idiot. Putting a team in the top 5 in the league is not me hating on them. I don't understand why anybody would get it like that, but right now I have the Steelers as the 5th best team in the NFL, followed by the Patriots, Vikings, Chiefs, and Eagles. So I'm not being a hater right now, just for all you Steelers fans out there who like to come at me when I put your team number 1 above everybody, even though they've lost to the Bears and the Jaguars. The Jaguars by almost 30 points. That's stuff the Colts do, not top 5 teams in the league do. So I just need more consistency. They've shown a lot better over the past couple of weeks. We'll see what happens going forward here. All right, so it's my top 5 teams. We'll go to my bottom 5 teams now. Pretty obvious the Cleveland Browns are the worst team in the league. They're just so bad. Yeah, they're just bad. They played awful last week. They have no quarterback play. They almost beat the Titans, though, in overtime because the Titans played equally bad with them. So we'll see what happens. But the Browns, they're 0-7. They're just bad. The Niners are 0-7. Actually, they lost last week to the Cowboys. 40-10. That was the Cowboys coming off a bye, trying to prove people wrong. So I don't fault the Niners there. They just released Bowman. So they were still trying to figure out some rookies on the inside. So that win was almost predictable by the Cowboys. So the Niners are 0-7. They're right now number 2 in the Cleveland league. But they want to be bad so they can get a quarterback in next year's draft. So there's that. 3, the Colts. They're just not very good. Just not. They're only wins against the Browns and the Niners. They need luck to get healthy. They lost 27-0 to Jacksonville. 10 sacks allowed. The offensive line is bad. Ballard needs time to revamp that roster. So the Colts, they're right now at 3. The Giants, 1-6. They have a fluke win at Denver for some reason. I don't know if that's just the Giants playing well that game or Denver being back to what I thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year with a with a really good defense that ages, but a bad offense. So we'll see. We're on the Giants at 1-6. They deserve number 4 team, 4th worst team in the NFL. And then number 5, the Baltimore Ravens. I know had them last week at 3-3 in here, but 3-4 now. They're just not good offensively. Just not good offensively. Their wins are against Cincinnati, Cleveland, and an Oakland team without Derek Carr. I'm sorry, that's not impressive to me. Losses were to Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Minnesota, and they just were never really in those games. So, honorable Arizona, I think they're just getting old. Carson Palmer being out is really going to hurt them. So, we'll see what happens there with Arizona. And now I guess we'll go to my picks. Everybody's having a good day. We'll go to the first game here. Oakland at Buffalo. Should be interesting to see how this game shakes out. Oakland coming off that big win last Thursday at Kansas City. No, versus Kansas City, sorry, down in Oakland. You see the Raiders there, 22 points on offense, 22 points allowed on defense. Buffalo at 19 and then 16, almost 20 and 17. So I do like Buffalo's defense, and they can hold Oakland down, but Oakland has a long week to prepare for Buffalo. They will be without Marshawn Lynch, but I think Derek Carr can do enough here to give them the win. Buffalo come off a close home win versus the Buccaneers. And also, win out in the NFL Give the advantage to the better quarterback, and I'll take Derek Carr over Tyrod Taylor every day, including this upcoming Sunday, noon on CBS. Sorry, the Raiders plus 3.5. Buffalo the favorite here. I think the Raiders to win this one on the road and get back to 500. So there's that one. Next game, Houston at Seattle. Seattle is a 5.5 point favorite at home. I do not think rookie Deshaun Watson can go. Sorry. I don't think rookie Deshaun Watson can go up to Seattle and get a win. I just don't think he can go to CenturyLink and get a win versus that defense. But I think they keep it close. Russell Wilson makes a few plays late. I think Seattle wins by a field goal. But I'm thinking Houston minus 5.5 coming off a bye gives Bill O'Brien extra time to implement a game plan for Watson against the Legion of Boom. Then they keep within 5 points to be a good game. Afternoon game on CBS. So we'll see what happens there. But I do like Seattle to win this game, but Houston to cover the 5.5 point spread. Next game we have here is Dallas at Washington. Big game in the NFC East. I feel like this one, practically a pick'em game. This one with Washington being a 1.5 favorite last night where it opened. Even though Washington is coming off a short week and lost to the Eagles, the Dallas win over San Francisco, I said earlier, did not impress me much as did everybody else nationally. I think everyone wants to jump on the Cowboys bandwagon as soon as they get a big win. You're playing the Niners. They're bad. You have an extra week to prepare for a weak Niners team. You should have a great game plan executed. If you didn't, I'd be more worried than me being convinced you're actually a good team. Redskins can't afford another divisional game. In the loss category, they have 2 losses to the Eagles so far. The Cowboys are 1-0 in division with a win over the Giants. So both these teams need to win for division. But the Cowboys, their 3 wins have come against the 1-6 Giants, the 3-4 Cardinals, and the 0-7 Niners. 3 of the 6 worst teams in the league. So give me Washington to win this game, especially if Sean Lee's missing the game for Dallas. Washington minus 7.5. I'm just not sold on Dallas as of right now. Their wins are coming against bad teams. They can't beat a good team right now. I think Washington's a pretty decent team with their only losses coming to Philly twice and KC. So, and 2 of them Monday Night Football. So they play on Sunday. They're pretty good. That game is also in the afternoon on Fox. 3:25 kickoff. One thing to mention here, Washington's run defense is decently solid, so we'll see if they can make Elliott, the Cowboys, a little more one-dimensional on this one, but I do like the Redskins to win this game. Here we go, Sunday Night Football on NBC, Steelers, Lions. Steelers are a 3-point road favorite in this one. I do love taking teams off of buys, and Detroit is coming off one. It gives the Lions a week to get healthier, especially Matthew Stafford. He's been dealing with some nagging injuries. Sorry. I think Detroit will be more desperate team in this one. 3-3, trying to keep pace with Minnesota in the division. Pittsburgh's been rolling the past couple of weeks, so I think they're going to take a little step back. The Lions defense is stout enough against the run. You see their 94 yards per game to slow down Le'Veon Bell and force Big Ben to beat him through the air. I don't think he will. The Steelers have a great chance to win this game, but I'm going to go off on a limb here and take Detroit in a home game off a bye. Detroit plus 3.5 to win this one outright at home. Should be a fun game on a national TV there with the Lions. Their defense is definitely opportunistic and can force some turnovers. Big Ben's been susceptible to turnovers this year, so I like what the Lions are going to do in this game. I'm going to take the Lions. A little bit of a hunch here, but I'm thinking to beat the Steelers at home off a bye, plus 3. In the last game, Monday Night Football, Denver at KC. KC is a 7.5 point favorite. I'll take KC to win the game, but Denver to cover the 7.5. Both teams coming off back-to-back losses. Denver lost at home to the Giants 23-10. The Chargers last week on the road 21-0. First time they shut out was at 92. The Broncos, Trevor Siemian looks like Trevor Siemian again, back to that 7th-round quarterback that he is. KC the past 2 weeks lost to Pittsburgh 19-13, and on Thursday Night Football at Oakland 31-30. And they were leading that entire game versus Oakland. They should not have lost that game. I'm going to think, give me KC with extra days to prepare for that Broncos defense. Denver's an awful matchup for Kansas City. You're not going to be able to play man-to-man and shut down Kansas City for 4 quarters this year. There's too many athletes on the outside, too much speed. And Alex Smith does really well versus man-to-man defense. If you want to play zone, you give KC more trouble. But that's not Denver's recipe for winning, and they're going to stick to man, and they're going to live by the sword that they use to win most games. I don't care how good your corners are. If you play man versus Kansas City, you're going to struggle to cover Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and all those guys on the outside. Also, Kareem Hunt out of the backfield. You're just going to struggle to stop them in man-to-man coverage because Andy Reid does a great job of getting his playmakers mismatches and exploiting those mismatches, having Alex Smith execute that game plan versus man-to-man. So Reid's master of that, and give him a few days extra days off. You're going to see some weird stuff in Monday Night Football from Andy Reid. So yeah, that should be fun. Smith's playing great right now. Actually, Trevor Siemian's playing at the quarterback everybody thinks Alex Smith is, but he's actually not. So dink and dunk, not actually a good quarterback, but somehow put up decent numbers early in the year. That's Trevor Siemian. He's just not very good. Smith is. So definitely an advantage for Kansas City at the quarterback position. Defense definitely advantage to Denver right now. But the Chiefs are getting healthy. Center Mitch Morse and guard Tardif might be back this week as an addition to corner Steven Nelson. Now, hopefully Nelson is back, because if he is, they can take Philip Gaines off the damn field for once, because he can't cover anybody. It's ridiculous. At this point, I've talked to a couple of my friends. I don't even blame Philip Gaines for being bad, because we already know he's bad in the first place. We already know this. It's nothing new. We've seen enough film. We know Philip Gaines can't cover anybody. But if Nelson comes back, then he gains off the field for once, and the Chiefs might be able to actually get a stop. Bob Sutton, for the love of God, mix up your defense. Something different from a three-man rush with two deep safeties, man-to-man coverage underneath, and a four-man rush with one deep safety and man-to-man coverage underneath. Something different. Mix in a zone, or a zone blitz, or a blitz in general. Let the corners read the quarterback and they can play on the ball, i.e. Marcus Peters. He's a better zone corner than he is a man corner. We're just going to put him in man the entire game and take him out of his best element. I don't understand, Bob. I know you like playing man. I know you like to sit back and bend but don't break. But it's not working because you're putting your third best corner on the other team's best receiver, and he's getting torched. Hashtag Philip Gaines. Every time. Figure it out. You have extra time to prepare for it. So hopefully they have some of that figured out. Let's hope the Chiefs don't make the Broncos' inept offense look like world beaters this week, because it's going to happen most likely, and I'm just going to be frustrated to watch. If Trevor Siemian starts dicing up the Chiefs' defense, it's going to be frustrating. The Chiefs, adjust your system on defense. Just adjust it. You don't have to change everything. Show different wrinkles to teams. Because right now you play a good quarterback like Carr or Big Ben, and they see the same coverage for the entire game. I wonder what they're going to do. They're going to pick it apart. We saw it with Tom Brady in the playoffs. We saw it with Big Ben in the playoffs. We've seen it time and time again with Bob Sutton defense. You need to learn to adjust and give the other quarterback different looks, so they don't get this one look like, oh, man-to-man. Oh, Mari Cooper's being guarded by Philip Gaines. I wonder where we're going on this play. It's not hard. So, I don't know. You just need to switch things up a little bit there in Kansas City. Just mix things up, try to get some confusion with the offense, force some turnovers. There's talent on that defense. They just need a better scheme to execute that talent, in my opinion. But Chiefs, I think they win this game. I think Denver keeps it close. Denver plus 7.5. KC to win at home. Monday Night Football in Arrowhead's always a great atmosphere. So I just see that defense for Kansas City like 408 yards per game. Versus Oakland, 52 passes, 0 quarterback hits, 0 sacks. You can't have that. You got to have something in there, especially the quarterback. They did have 1 sack earlier in the game. They stripped Derek Carr and got a fumble, and some phantom illegal contact downfield took it away. Honestly, I don't even think that it was Murray they're trying to call a penalty on. I think they just said the wrong number. We just didn't see what Philip Gaines was doing that play. He most likely did something stupid. So that's just what my gut instinct is with that. We didn't get to see the rest of the play there with the corners, but they called it on Murray. Murray did nothing wrong. If that's the case, they thought Murray did something wrong. The ref's an idiot. Also, know what a push-off is? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you can't push a corner to the ground and then catch the ball. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. That's possible. To recap, I'm taking Oakland plus 2.5 on the road. Taking Houston plus 5.5, Seattle to win. I'm taking Washington minus 1.5. And taking the Lions plus 3 to beat the Steelers on Sunday Night Football, and the Chiefs hoping to win, but Denver plus 7.5 to cover that spread. So that's what I got this week. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Of course, my top 5 and bottom 5 right there. Top 5, I have the Eagles, Chiefs, Vikings, Patriots, Steelers. A couple teams lurking there with the Rams, Seahawks, among others. You also have lurking right outside the top 5. The Saints, the Redskins, the Bills, the Dolphins. I mean, there's a lot of Texans. There's a lot of decent teams there. The Jaguars even. So we'll see kind of going forward. Yes, Jacob, putting the Steelers at number 5 is still giving them respect. If you don't think putting a team in the top 5 in the NFL right now is giving them respect, I don't know what to tell you. You're an absolute idiot. I don't know what to tell you if you don't think I'm giving the Steelers respect. I put them as the 5th best team in the NFL. I'm not putting you at number 1 if you lose to the Bears by 7 in overtime and lose by nearly 30 to the Jaguars at home. You're not getting a top spot in my power rankings if you do that. They've played better the past 2 weeks over the Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. 2 teams they match up really well with. We'll see what happens when they play the Lions. Lions coming off a bye. It's more about what the Lions are going to do than what the Steelers are going to do in my pick. Have a little bit of context. Don't just come in here with blind black and gold glasses on and think that you are all-knowing because you're a Steelers fan. That's not how things work. A little bit of context. That's all it takes, Jacob. A little bit of listening skills. And you can see, I think the Steelers are a really good team. They're top 5. Most likely, the difference between 1 and 11 right now is not a whole lot. We saw that last night with Eagles, Redskins. They're 2 pretty good teams that play each other really tough. The gaps in the NFL are not huge. I said earlier, the Steelers can beat really good teams. We've seen that with beating the Chiefs, and etc. We don't see them lose to bad teams, i.e. the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. So I don't know what to tell you right now. Steelers, 5th best team in the NFL. I know ESPN had them 4. I have them 5. So we'll see what happens going forward with the Steelers. Just a little too much chaos in that organization for me to put them any higher with everything going on there off the field. So there's that. Steelers, 5th best team in the NFL. That's still giving them respect. It still is. I don't know what. It's not like I put them 15th. Get over yourself. So that's what I got with that one. Bottom 5 teams: Browns, Niners, Giants, Colts, Ravens. I don't even has much of a problem with those. So yeah, the Steelers beat the powerhouse and the Ravens, so they must be good earlier this year. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys this week. Hope everybody has a good rest of your day. I am out of here. Tune in tomorrow for the D2 football show. They released regional rankings yesterday, so it'll be a lot to talk about tomorrow's show and breaking down each one of those regions to see who the best teams are, who has the best chance to actually make the playoffs, etc. in Division II football. So we'll be back tomorrow morning. I'm Devin Albertson signing off here on the show. Everybody have a great rest of your day.